Hello everyone, welcome back, and Barcelona officially announces that Xavi is leaving the club, which means that Hansi Flick will be taking over in the summer, and I don't know how you all feel about this. I'm pretty excited about Barcelona getting a new coach, but I also just don't like the way that Laporta and Barcelona's board handled this situation. I think Xavi is a club legend, of course, and he just deserved a little bit more respect than that, but at the same time, I am really excited that Hansi Flick is joining because I just think it was the right time for Barcelona to get a new coach. Who knows if it's going to be successful, but I'll be honest, I am more excited looking forward to next season than I was thinking that Xavi was going to be the coach next year. And Hansi Flick, obviously, he had so much success at Bayern Munich. He won 6 trophies in one season, and that Bayern team that he had in the Champions League, that's one of the more dominant teams I've seen in that competition in a very long time. Obviously, that was the team that Barcelona lost 8-2 to, and just overall, I mean, every team they came up against, it just looked like Bayern were just outworking them, and that mentality that team had, it just pushed them to win all those trophies, and to win 6, I mean, you just cannot mess up once. You have to be so dominant in every single game you play, and a lot of that has to do with Hansi Flick. Obviously, he didn't have the best time at Germany. I didn't really keep up with how everything kind of went down and how everything was handled in that situation, but obviously, to win 6 trophies in one season with Bayern, that's an incredible achievement, and it does show at Hansi Flick how much experience he has. Like I said, the way that Laporta fired Xavi, I just don't agree with that. I don't think it was the right way to go about things, but I'm still excited about Hansi Flick coming because I just think when Xavi was going to be the coach next season, I wasn't really expecting anything different. I was thinking we were going to see more of the same, how Barcelona were going to look slow and passive, and it felt like the squad was basically going to be pretty similar given the players that Xavi wanted to bring in and also how Xavi utilized the players at his disposal. I just don't think we were going to be in for any surprises. And in my opinion, with Hansi Flick, I actually don't know what to expect. I know that he had a lot of success at Bayern. Things didn't work out with Germany. But I just don't know how, his philosophy is going to line up with the players that Barcelona have, with the philosophy of the club. So it's going to be an interesting match, and we'll have to see if it works out. But in my opinion, like I said, I'm more excited about Hansi Flick joining than Xavi staying. Like I said, though, I just don't agree with the way that that situation was handled with Laporta. And I think a lot of fans are excited about the mentality and the physical changes that Hansi Flick can hopefully bring to the club because, especially in those European competitions, it just looks like the club gets outworked and they're just not able to keep up physically because I think, the style that Barcelona play, typically you have a lot of the ball, you're not really doing that much work off the ball. So Hansi Flick, hopefully he has the ability to make that change and kind of get back to the level that Barcelona want to be at in terms of European competitions because it's been since 2015 that Barcelona won that trophy. And yeah, obviously the players that are at the disposal right now, I mean, it's a very good squad. In my opinion, I think it's one of the best squads in the world. I think some people probably won't agree with that given the fact of how bad Barcelona played this season. But in my opinion, on paper, that squad can be competing with any other team in the world. And I hope Hansi Flick, he's able to get the squad back to that level. And another aspect of this decision that I'm excited about is that Hansi Flick has a bunch of different players that he would want to bring to the squad compared to Xavi. Because the ones that we were rumored to with Xavi, I just wasn't exactly convinced, and I don't know what this does to players like Guido Rodriguez and Xavi Simons, Nico Williams, players that Barcelona reportedly have been in contact with. I don't know if Hansi Flick is maybe going to scrap those plans and say, we don't need those players. I have some different players that I want to bring into the squad and utilize. So I'm excited for that because I think Hansi Flick, if Barcelona and Laporta are able to back him, I think he can do great things with this squad. And at the end of the day, I mean, there's nothing I can do to change the decision that Laporta has made. So at this point, I want to just back Hansi Flick, and I want to hope that he is able to take Barcelona back to the top. And another thing that fans have said is Hansi Flick going to trust the academy as much as Xavi did? And I don't know. I hope so, because there are so many gems in that academy that, I think a couple new players can be added to the first team. But at the same time, I'm sure Hansi Flick is going to have a couple players that he wants to bring in from the market, and that's deserved, I think, because the squad just hasn't been good enough. There are so many young players from the academy that I hope can feature in Barcelona's team. I think of players like Marc Bernal, Paul Priem, Mikal Faye. These are players that I hope can make a start next season in the first team. That'd be really nice to see. But it just depends on how the season goes. If Barcelona are playing very well, I think La Masia would probably get less opportunities, but that's kind of good because the squad is playing well. So it's there's some pros and cons to using the academy because I think Xavi, his hand was forced because the lack of quality in the first team, as well as some injuries in key positions like Gavi. And so yeah, I think Xavi, his hand was forced a little bit, and and trusting the academy. But of course, we have to give him so much credit for giving first team appearances to, players like Fermin Lopez, because I don't think many other managers would have given trust in Fermin Lopez. I think they maybe would have looked past him and said we need to bring someone in from the outside. But Xavi, he gave Fermin Lopez a chance, of course Lamine Yamal, but I think any coach would have given Lamine Yamal and Pau Cubarsí, those players, chances. But, players like Hector Fort, Fermin Lopez, Xavi was the one that gave them that opportunity. Mark Guiu as well, he gave him his debut, so that was really nice to see. And also, of course, with the Vitor Roque situation, we hope that Hansi Flick has him in his plans next year. And another thing that I'm happy about with Hansi Flick is it seemed like his number one priority was always Barcelona. He had rumors to Bayern Munich and Chelsea, and even given the current financial situation, I think he knows he's not going to be able to sign the same amount of players as he would at another club, but he still wants to join Barcelona, and that's great. But it also tells me that he has a game plan for the squad. It's not like he just got this call a couple hours ago. I think he's been planning in this position for a while, and I think he's got a game plan, and I'm really excited to see it become implemented, and I'm glad that he also has a preseason because, if this would have happened in the middle of next season, like let's say October, that would have been terrible because, then you have a coach coming mid-season, he doesn't get the preseason and the summer signings that he wants to make, so it's a good time, I think. And again, unfortunately for Xavi, I just don't think the club handled that situation very fairly to him, given all that he gave to Barcelona. But still, I am excited for Hansi Flick. And like I said, at this point, there is nothing that I can do to change it. So I just want to back Hansi Flick and hope that he has a very successful time here. And like I said with the Vitor Roque situation, I hope for his case that Hansi Flick does have him in his plans. And I saw a report that, the thing with Vitor Roque was possibly one of the things that Laporta was upset about. And I understand that. And so hopefully Hansi Flick, he has Vitor Roque as his backup number 9, which would be very nice to see, I think. And I really hope he has a future at the club because I just don't think he really was given that many opportunities in this half season to, warrant a loan or a permanent sale. I think, I saw moments of brilliance from Vitor Roque, so I'm excited to see how well he does. And I think if Hansi has him in his plans for next year, that's going to be great. And I know I've said multiple times in this video that I'm frustrated with the way that Laporta handled this situation, but seriously, can anyone help me understand what happened, what he was doing there? Because, Xavi, he said he's leaving in February. Laporta, I know I've gotten some comments saying that Xavi was begging Laporta to stay. I don't think it was like that because I don't think Xavi ever would have announced his resignation if that was the other way around. I think Laporta wanted Xavi to stay. Xavi, he bought in. He said, yes, okay, I'll stay for one more season. Things have looked a little bit better since February, so I'll stay. And then 10 days later, Laporta says, we don't need you anymore. You're fired, and we're bringing in Hansi Flick. I don't understand that. I mean, I would love an explanation from Laporta. I don't know if we'll ever get one, but I would really like to understand what the mindset was there. And my thought is maybe the financial situation looks a little bit better than Laporta was initially thinking. That could be one angle where it makes somewhat of sense to me, because maybe he thinks the financial situation will be better, so he's able to fire Xavi and then hire Hansi Flick and then give Hansi Flick the signings that he wants to make. I don't know. Maybe that's one thing where it kind of makes sense because, yeah, those comments that Xavi made in the press conference, I understand some people saying he shouldn't be saying that, but Xavi in the press conference said, the financial situation, it makes it difficult for us to go out and sign players and compete on the market with other top teams, which is completely true. I mean, Barcelona can't go out on the market. I mean, think about Esteval Willian. Barcelona wanted to sign him, but they couldn't keep up with Chelsea's financial situation. Chelsea was able to sign him. Typically if Barcelona wasn't under Bartomeu and didn't have a terrible president, I'm saying terrible president as in Bartomeu, then Barcelona would probably be able to sign Esteval Willian, but that didn't happen. And so I just don't understand really what went wrong with the Hansi Flick Xavi situation. I don't know. I mean, some people maybe would be offended by those comments that he made in the press conference. I don't think it was enough to warrant this type of treatment from Laporta because Xavi is such a club legend. He's done so much for the club. He brought that connection back from La Masia to Barcelona's first team. That was so nice to see, and all the players love Xavi. I mean, you could tell just from all the posts that they've made and just everything that Xavi meant to all these Barcelona players. So to kind of just, to play with him, really, and to switch up on Xavi after 10 days of saying that he would be in charge next season, for me, it's very frustrating, and I can't understand Laporta's treatment, but then again, the things that he did to Messi, I guess it's not really surprising. But, and one comment said, you need to educate yourself about the Messi situation. Look, that was disrespectful from Laporta. I mean, there are no ways around it because he played with Messi. He said that I'd be able to re-sign you. There'll be no doubts. You'll be playing at Barcelona next season. And then out of nowhere, Messi got a call and said, yep, can't sign you. Sorry about that. Go find a new team. Yeah, it's difficult to not be frustrated by both of those treatments from club legends. And yeah, Laporta, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I hope Hansi Flick has a very successful time at Barcelona, but I'm really frustrated with the treatment that Xavi gave, that Laporta gave Xavi. I think it's not fair to a player that gave so much to Barcelona and that really knows what it means to be a Barcelona player and part of the community. So yeah, it's definitely not the best treatment from Xavi or to Xavi. But like I said, I think it was time to bring someone new in. I think Xavi took the club as far as he could take him, and now it's Hansi Flick's turn to try and get Barcelona back to the best. And I think Xavi, he had a very difficult time here, especially in the last year. But overall, I think it was successful. I think he came in when Barcelona really needed him, and then he won 2 trophies, brought that connection back with La Masia. And Hansi Flick, hopefully he has the ability to just elevate and continue to work on the things that Xavi brought to the club. And yeah, I think he's going to switch a lot of stuff up. I think, but maybe that's what Barcelona needs right now. And I think just this season they definitely underperformed. They're not playing at the level that they should be playing at, given the squad that they have and all of the talent that they have within the club currently. And I hope Hansi Flick is able to get the best out of these players because, again, Xavi, he had his flaws, and I just think he wasn't able to get the best out of the players collectively and individually. Hansi Flick, I hope he is able to do that, and we're able to see the best out of every player at Barcelona next season. But yeah, I would be interested to know what you all think about this. I know a lot of Barca fans are really excited, but they're also sad to see Xavi go, and that's how I am as well. I think it's really exciting going into next season with a new coach, and like I said, I just don't know what to expect. I don't know how it's going to go, which is exciting. It's also a little bit of a risk and a gamble, but I think it's good because I think, with Xavi, I think it would have been right here. But with Hansi Flick, who knows? It could be all the way up here. It could be down here. We don't exactly know. But, Barcelona, they went trophyless. They didn't play well for the majority of last season. They had a couple good performances. So it was the right time to bring someone new in. And is Hansi Flick going to be the right man for the job? We'll see. I hope so. It looks like he has a 1-year contract plus an option to extend another year, which is good. And then 2025, there could be some new coaching candidates on the market, but I hope for Hansi Flick that he has a successful time here and then he gets another contract because that obviously shows that he did well in his first year. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. I don't know how you all feel, but I think Barcelona overall, I think they have so much talent in the squad. I'm really excited to see what Hansi Flick does next season. And yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching my video. I really do appreciate it. And also, thank you very much for 2,000 subscribers. That's awesome. That's a great achievement. And yeah, I'm very excited to talk about everything with Barcelona. And I really love engaging with you all. And so thank you very much for all the support. I really appreciate it. And hope you all have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your weekend. Visca Barca, and see you all later. Peace.